Hi, Jeff Munn, Creating Extraordinary Futures. I want to talk about decisions today. I have some deeper thoughts about decisions, about what they are and what they aren't. It's a conversation that comes up a lot with clients, especially clients who are in the process potentially of making directional changes, taking on a new role, deciding to change jobs, deciding to change careers. Those fork in the road moments, right? That we can create in our heads metaphorically, but it's unclear to me whether they actually exist. In fact, it's pretty clear to me that they don't. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as one of my coaches likes to say, you can't put a decision in a wheelbarrow. In other words, decisions, the word decision is a concept. The word literally means to separate apart. So we're looking at a situation and we're creating something that looks like a decision. It looks like, well, we can take path A or we can take path B, and I don't know what to do. But there are so many places in our lives where we go one direction or another without any thought whatsoever, without any contemplation or frustration, without any hesitation. Are those decisions or not? In fact, I would argue that the word decision is just something we call that moment where we don't know what to do yet. And there are lots of historical ways, from Ben Franklin's list of pros and cons to flipping a coin to any other way that you can think of to help us make decisions. But the truth is, if I look at it closely, and I encourage you to look closely, there's the moment before it's obvious what to do, and the moment after when you've chosen, when you've done it. And I'm using the word chosen, and I'm not sure it's right, because it became obvious what to do. I find additionally that the intellect, we like to think that the intellect is weighing pros and cons and helping us make decisions. What seems to be true for me, what seems to be true for my clients, what seems to be true for everyone I talk to, and it's actually borne out by the research in this area, the research around, functional brain imaging and what's really going on, is that our brains are only helpful to explain after the fact why we think we made a decision. In other words, at some point you knew what to do, you did it, and then your brain creates a story after the fact about why you did it. That takes a lot of pressure off, because it means you don't have to know why you're doing something, because you actually don't know why you're doing something. So one thing that was abundantly clear for me as I embarked on my coaching career, I knew I wanted to be a coach. I didn't necessarily believe that I could create, at least at the beginning, a full-time coaching income. But on the day that I was fired from Fidelity Investments, which is just a little more than 6 years ago now, the one thing I knew was that I was not going to be going back to the corporate world as an employee. Now, I don't know why or how. I knew that. I just knew. I don't know why or how I knew that we were going to be moving to Colorado. I just knew. I don't know how or why I knew that about a week ago, I decided to start with a new coach. But it was like there were just these instantaneous yeses in my body, brain, heart, mind. It was just this felt sense of knowing. And one thing that I do notice, people who are about to embark on significant change, is that they feel this yes, but they don't yet trust it. They haven't gone back and thought about what has happened when I felt that before? How did it work out? Did I follow it or did I not? How many times have you had that sense? And for most of us, unfortunately, it's more common this way, where you have that sense of, I knew I should have done it, and then you didn't, and it worked out badly. So that's a case of confirming this sense that we have as well. But I would encourage you, before you begin to make some of these bigger choices in your life, to just see how much you can trust. Restaurant menus are a great way to begin to cultivate this. Let's start small, right? Like if I have found, if I have a sense of, I want to try the such and such, or the lasagna looks really good, or, I got this sense I should be ordering the hanger steak. That generally speaking, I like the hanger steak. Not always, not 100%. None of these things is 100% accurate. But try. What to order, what restaurant to go to, where to go for the day, what movie to go to, what book to read. We have this ability to know that is way more powerful than our ability to decide, to make decisions. Our knowingness is way more powerful than any analytical capability that our brains have. Our capacity to process data in this 3-pound bag of meat that's in our heads. It's powerful, but compared with that bigger sense, compared with the sense of our whole bodies, the knowingness that our whole bodies can provide, it's a pittance. So I encourage you to experiment with that, to play with that. I've found just to play with the question or the prompt, you already know what to do. The only question is whether you have the courage to do it. That can be a great place to start. See what comes up for you as you think about that. And that's it for my deeper thoughts today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.